I'm not going to 68. That's out. I heard something that Hunter said. I didn't see the whole thing, but I'm not going back to 168. I said it before I moved up and I wasn't playing. That was a real opportunity for Golovkin to take that fight. He didn't want the fight or whatever the case. He wanted to push it out 2-3 years. I'm not once you go up, you can't go back down. If he wants to come up, that's another story, but I'm not going back down. Those are the words of light heavyweight supremo Andre Ward talking about a potential showdown with middleweight supremo Triple G Gennady Golovkin. And interestingly enough, as you heard there, Andre Ward is totally contradicting the views of his own trainer, Virgil Hunter. Hunter, in recent days, in the past 2 weeks, came out in an interview and said that Andre Ward is not really a light heavyweight. He's a super middleweight. So after he finishes up with Sergey Kovalev in the rematch, he may well move back down to 168 pounds. But there you hear Ward totally dismissing that notion. He says he ain't moving back down. Interesting that you've got such a disparity, such a big difference between what Ward is saying and what his own trainer, Virgil Hunter, a guy who's very close with Andre Ward, is saying. Hunter's saying Ward is not really a light heavyweight, so he may well move back down. What did Virgil Hunter see in that Sergey Kovalev fight that's making him say that his own fighter is not really a light heavyweight? But yet Ward is defiant. That to me is interesting. I pay attention to these little details. Are you disappointed with Ward saying the Golovkin fight is out now and he's not moving back down to 168? Even if Golovkin moves up? He's basically saying Golovkin has to come up to 175 pounds for that fight to happen. Will Ward change his mind? My view is if they put the right amount of money in front of Andre Ward, he will move back down to 168 pounds to fight Triple G. Fighters say so many things which they later on contradict if the right amount of money is put in front of their face. That's what I've found time and time again over the years. So I'm not personally taking what Andre Ward is saying too seriously here, but maybe some of you guys are. Maybe some of you guys think that no matter how much money they put in front of Andre Ward, he will never move back down to 168 to take on Triple G. I guess it all depends on how his career unfolds from this moment on. If he defeats Sergey Kovalev in emphatic fashion, in convincing fashion, in this rematch, that'll put Ward in a very powerful position. He'll be trying to dictate terms to whoever else is a potential rival of his. And I would find it unlikely that Ward would be willing to drop down to 168 for Triple G if he gets the kind of plaudits and the kind of media fanfare from the Kovalev rematch if he wins it emphatically. You know, if he gets a lot of praise and a lot of fans, wins a lot of new fans and what have you, and his market value goes up significantly, it's difficult to think of him compromising himself in terms of weight to fight anybody. But then again, it depends on where Golovkin is at in a year's time or 18 months' time. If Golovkin has gone on to defeat Canelo in emphatic fashion and pushed his market value up through the roof, then maybe Ward will say, you know what, I am willing to drop down to 168 to make this fight happen. It all comes down to money at the end of the day. I know fans don't like to hear that. They don't like to talk about money, but this is prize fighting, people. If you were in the position of a lot of these prize fighters, you'd be making the same kind of decisions. You'd be forfeiting title fights to take on opponents that bring a lot more money to the table than a guy who has a belt. Most of you would be doing the same thing. As much as we criticize people for it, and understandably so, because as boxing fans, we're in it for the entertainment, first and foremost. A lot of boxing fans, like myself, do care about the welfare of the fighters. Definitely. We do care about the financial interest of the fighters to a certain extent. But our interest in being entertained usually, to some extent, supersedes that. It's more important to us that we're entertained and we get to see the most entertaining fights than however many millions each fighter gets to make from whatever contest. So let me know what you feel in the comment section below about Andre Ward's comments here, people. The fact that he has totally contradicted his own trainer. Do you think Ward really is a 168 pounder? Is he a true light heavyweight at this point? Why is his own trainer saying he's not a light heavyweight and that he will probably go back down after the Kovalev rematch, but Ward is saying the total opposite? I find that interesting. And if Ward did drop down to 168 to take on Triple G, how do you see that fight going? Drop it all in the comment section below. It's Hatman, I'm out.